Hi there and welcome to the channel. This video is not scripted, so just to let you know, if I ramble a bit and stumble upon the words, it's just because I didn't do any preparation in terms of any script. But I wanted to share with you that I am now going to do a study of the Contrapposto stance, which is a classic pose in drawing and painting, because I gave this assignment to do a copy of this drawing over here and to read what it says here about the Contrapposto stance. And I figured I would be lazy if I didn't do the exercises as well. So this is my drawing Bible, Life Drawing, Gottfried Bammes, which is a well-renowned book on drawing. And what I realized recently when I went to a drawing workshop, which I made a video about, I realized that I've come to an age in my life where I start to appreciate simplification. Early on when I had this book, like 10 years ago, I didn't understand what the value was about these. I thought they were so boring. But now I appreciate the simplification and how it's important to get the basics down to be able to understand complex things going on in the stance. So I'll give it a shot, and you can also learn along the way with me how the body change once we do a Contrapposto stance and draw it. So let me just read the first thing that Bammes says. The Contrapposto stance with the weight on one leg is based on the need to take the weight of one leg and to place it on the other one. This mechanical event then has major consequences across the rest of the body. Left hand figure, weight bearing forms in maroon, and I have just been marking that thing. So if we take a look over here at the drawing, we see that the maroon colors is the weight bearing forms, and I'll try now to just do that copy, the one to the left here, and then I will return to reading again in a while. All right, so that was the first copy of the drawing where I just used red instead of maroon because that was what I had lying around, just to indicate that these then are the weight-bearing things of the body. So of course the legs bear the hips, then we have the rib cage, spine also that carries the neck, I guess, and then the neck carries the head. So this makes sense. Yeah, so the head doesn't carry anything. This is all the things that carry, and then you have the center of gravity going up towards or inside of the body here. So I'll just make a note here. Weight bearing. Let's see what he then goes on to say. My proportions are off, by the way, but that's just like the common thing with me. I always make the proportions wrong, but yeah. Standing on equally loaded feet, center of gravity is at S1 between the feet. Yes, center of gravity. Okay, so right here, this is the center of gravity in the middle of the pelvis, you could say. Central figure. Oh, yeah. He goes on to explore the Contrapposto. Central figure. The relief free leg gray does not offer any support. Therefore, the center of gravity is shifted by moving the pelvis from S1 to S2 across the center. So this basically means that where the center of gravity before was here, once you go to Contrapposto, it moves from there, S1, to S2, which he writes is a half of a sole width. So you can also see this is half of the sole width, which then moves a bit to the left. I'm gonna do the copy of this drawing again to see, to get into it. Okay, that was the next drawing where we see that the figure has entered the Contrapposto stance, or actually not yet, because we still need the arms, and also here you can tell there's no bearing here, so it's an unstable figure that is not resting, you can try yourself to get in this position and you feel that it's very awkward just having this line here of the spine and then the legs like this. What I noticed was that first of all the center of gravity was here before. Now it shifts to over here, so closer to the leg that supports. The other thing that happens is that you get the tilt of the pelvis towards the leg that is not supporting. So up here and down here. And then I also noticed that you lose a bit of the height. As you can see here, the space here. So when going into the Contrapposto stance, you lose a bit of height here. Let's go on to the last one, which is the one where we really get the Contrapposto stance up here. So that was the final drawing where we have the stabilization of the figure because of the now tilting of the spine. So it's quite interesting to notice that the pelvis and the rib cage are doesn't change shape, so they're just still like this. But what changes is the spine. You see, it can go this way. So it's the spine that makes this movement possible. And now we have the stabilization. It goes up through here and here. So essentially we have a tilting down this way, which makes it up for the tilting this way. And there you have the classic Contrapposto stance, which has been done for years. I guess it's because it's a quite beautiful S-curve, as a matter of fact. Let's just finish off by reading what Barmes has to say as a final note. Up here. Stability is restored when the spinal column bends back above the lumbar region and so returns the upper body to a position of equilibrium. Yes, equilibrium, that's the word I gotta write down. This balancing act results in a curve of the spinal column where the concave side points to the standing leg. Yes, the concave side. Yeah, okay. The shoulder girdle follows this tilt. The axis drops towards the standing leg. Yes, so this was exactly what I also found out. So this shoulder here axis drops toward that side, and the concave side is this one here. The line of gravity usually passes through the pit of the neck. Interesting. However, the decisive criterion for a balanced contrapposto stance will always be the relationship of the center of gravity within the pelvis to the residual support, otherwise the figure will fall over. The ever-changing play of weight-bearing and supportive forces, of compressed masses and stretched flowing forms has been a theme since the time of Polycletus, 5th century before Christ. Interesting, I gotta look that up. Until now, and has provided a construction method for drawing dynamic figures which find perfection in the harmony of its counterpoints. See page 68 center. Let's just see page 68. 68 center. Okay, so this is the drawing he refers to. So just make a little note. This way, and then this way. Yeah. Yeah, it is harmonic. Yeah, this is some of the things that I'll have to soak up deep in my brain. I'll just write down the notes here. I found it kind of interesting with the line of gravity that it passes through the pit of the neck. Yes, so that was just a little bit of studying the Contrapposto. I hope that you found it interesting, and till next time, have fun drawing.